Test, test. Okay. 0 viewers. Fuck yeah. Alright. If you guys haven't played this game, you gotta check it out. It's a lot of fun. I'll start over. It's been years since I played this. I remember liking it a lot. It's not a particularly exciting game. But it is relaxing. I thought it would be the perfect background for us to sit down and have a chat about all these extraterrestrial things. I'm going to let this go through its intro here. Shut up. Oh shit. Oh man. This reminds me of that. What was that old iPhone game? That Flappy Bird? Is that what that's called? There we go. Oh yeah, you can... Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Shit. Damn it. This is a terrible start. Whoop, whoop. Damn it. There we go. Okay. I ran out of glide. The object of this game is just to kind of explore. There's a cool backstory like we've kind of seen a little bit. Ooh, double jump, nice. Like I said, I played this game years ago, but it's been forever. I remember seeing it on Game Pass once, just trying it out. It's different. It's a fun, like I said, it's relaxing. And it has to do with UAP, which is super fascinating to me personally. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not talking to anyone in the stream because I don't have any viewers. But for people that watch this back, the 3 of you that do, I don't know about you guys, but I've been going crazy with this UAP stuff since about really 2017. 2017, we have the New York Times article. Luis Elizondo comes out and says that the government does in fact have a program that studies unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAP, flying around with impunity in our skies. Whatever you believe, there's something going on. I understand that some people don't think it's like little green men, but there is 100% something going on. Something. Whether it's a foreign adversary or what, I don't know. But based on what some of these people have said, these pilots and stuff, these craft are doing maneuvers that are not... they shouldn't be possible with our current understanding of physics and things. It's very strange. See if I can catch a current here. Shit, that didn't help. Huh. But anyway, so yeah, we have 2017, that New York Times article. I am stuck right now in this little crevasse. Come on, baby. There we go. After 2017, we had a few years, and back in, I believe it was 2023, David Grush, ex-intelligence officer, comes out and says, not only do we have a program that studies UAP, we also have non-human biologics that's in the U.S. possession. He testified that to Congress, which is crazy. I think we've had like 3 congressional hearings now. Then you have this ridiculous game the White House is playing right now with these file release, these UFO drops or whatever every couple of weeks. We didn't have one a couple of weeks ago, so we're due for one. Hopefully tomorrow. It'd be nice to go back and watch this recording tomorrow night and be like, oh yeah, there was that fucking crazy release that happened. Yeah, hey, I got an achievement. You know, I've had this idea to do this kind of podcasting thing for so long, and every time I'm not at home, I have so much to say. Now that I'm actually here flying around, I'm at a loss for words. Gotta just chill out. Gotta relax. Get in the zone. God damn it. This will be fun. Getting a little better at it. We've been dealing with craft in our sky. I guess calling them craft is kind of presumptuous. We don't know what they are. We've been dealing with things in our skies for, I mean, ever since there have been people to see things. I don't know, I find it really compelling when it's not, you know, Billy Bob in his backyard in Kansas going, yeah, I saw something in the sky. And these are high-level people with top-secret clearances that are using tax dollars, our tax dollars, to study something. What are they doing? You know, I've heard them say with these UFO drops, these releases that they've had every couple of weeks, oh yeah, we're just gonna release it and let you guys kind of figure it out. Like, we're just gonna let y'all make up your own minds about what it is, which is bullshit to me. I mean, you guys have been, again, using our tax dollars for this shit, studying it. You're not gonna share your fucking findings with us? How does that work? How do we give you money that you just use however? That's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. Oh, here you go. Figure it out yourselves. I'm not gonna share anything, any of our conclusions. You guys can go fuck yourselves. By the way, I think the object, if I remember right, is to go toward that beam of light over there. That's what I'm trying to do. It's hard to know what's bullshit and what isn't in this space. You know, even after that 2017 release, Blue Elizondo, you've got that guy going on in front of, I don't know what he was doing. He was at some kind of symposium or some shit, some speech thing. He's in front of a crowd of people, and he has a photograph of a fucking crop circle, like an irrigation patch, and is trying to sit there and say that it's craft from a pilot. You know, this pilot saw this craft. So it's like, who do you trust? Who do you trust in this space, man? You mean to tell me you were the head, you know, you're like knee deep in this fucking topic and you've never seen a fucking irrigation circle? How do you mix that up? Oh, it was a unvetted photo. Well, then why the fuck are you sharing it? What are you doing? Doesn't make any sense. You gotta wonder, like, why now? Why is all this coming out now? I've heard people say that it's because our technology is getting better, and it's just kind of inevitable that we're gonna start seeing more and more things in our skies just because we have the better, you know, we have better equipment for it. But, you also hear rumors about them killing people to keep this topic covered up. Men in Black, harassing witnesses of unexplained either craft or sightings of, you know, there's all kinds of cases you can look up with little creatures that people have seen. Whether you believe it or not is another story, but they're out there. I don't know, I feel like there's a little truth in everything. Not every story is true, but I'm sure there are a few where people genuinely are just trying to share things that they've seen. Carl Higdon, for instance, out of Medicine Bow, he didn't get famous or anything from his, you know, I guess he got a little famous, but he didn't get rich, I guess is my point, from his sharing his experience. Carl Higdon was a lineman, I believe, electric guy, and he had a day off, a random day off. Being a hunter, he said, well, you know what, I'm going to make the best use of this day. I'm going to go out, into Medicine Bow National Forest. We're gonna shoot us a couple of buck or whatever. I don't know how they talk. I'm not a hunter, which is ironic. He goes out, finds a spot, hikes around a little bit. Then he sees a group of 5 elk. I think he said it was like 30 yards away, maybe. With a nice, large pinpointer or whatever up front. Takes aim with his rifle. Fires a shot, and he said that he noticed the bullet come out. There was no sound. The bullet comes out. I think he said it was in slow motion. Flies across this space, and then hits what looks like to him a glass cube. And these the elk or whatever are not moving. They're not moving at all while this is happening. And then apparently he sees this being behind him who asks him if he's hungry, and he says yes. And then he takes. The being offers him these pills, and these pills float over to him, is what he said. And he took one. The next thing he knew, he was in a craft, looking at the earth, getting smaller and smaller. He said that he was taken away to this other place where they were checking him out, like medically. They ended up rejecting him. He thinks because he had a vasectomy and they wanted somebody intact or something. Now you would think with this kind of crazy technology to fly across vast distances like this and abduct people and make things levitate and shit, you would think they would have simple human anatomy kind of figured out where they could just reverse it and there's your specimen. I don't know. Again, it's just what he said. What's interesting about it, with that case in particular, is that I guess whenever he was younger, he had tuberculosis scars on his lungs. And after that incident, he didn't have those anymore. It's like, okay, well, if a guy went on a bender and just wanted to get away from his wife for a little bit, fuck around in the woods or whatever, how did he make his scars disappear? And then it was reported that his truck was found in an area, it was just dropped in an area, is what it looked like, because there was no tire tracks leading up to the area he was found, and it was allegedly found in a place that you couldn't drive to. It's interesting, All these stories, they're just interesting. Whether they're true, I don't know. It's another conversation with this. I think one of the most interesting things that I found with those most recent releases from the Department of Defense, I'm not calling it the Department of War, it's fucking stupid. It's the Department of fucking Defense. I thought the Gemini transcripts were interesting. They're talking to the astronauts, and they're talking about how they're in space at the moment, and they're talking about how they're seeing a bogey. It's a bogey. And Houston goes, is it an actual sighting? And they go, yes. It's an actual sighting. NASA for years has said that there's no evidence that they've never found any one of those things. Oh, shit, I just realized, where the hell does that mean? I got turned around. Yeah, NASA for years has denied any kind of, oh no, there's no evidence, we don't have anything. And then recently, I can't remember the guy's name. Trump was making fun of his ears recently, as Trump would do. It was that guy. He was talking about how there are pictures of unidentified things. Unidentified, that could be anything, but to say that there's no evidence is not exactly honest, in my opinion. And I'm sure that there's a whole load of shit that we're probably never gonna see. But I don't know. It's like, again, why come out with this now? something I go crazy thinking about. You know, the whole Epstein thing came out, and suddenly I'm seeing in the files from the Department of Justice. I'll link it below. I'll link it in the whenever I post this to YouTube. I'll have it in the description. But there's a file from the Department of Justice talking about entities operating beyond human sight that are, I can't remember the exact words, but the gist is that they're using human emotion. They suck on human emotion for sustenance. That's how they get their fix. Again, I'll have that linked. I know that sounds fucking crazy. But it was in there. It was in there. Entities operating beyond human sight. I heard somebody recently talking about that, about how, you know, whenever we're looking at you know those pictures of galaxies that you see on the internet, they're beautiful, multicolored, gaseous clouds, they look crazy. What's interesting to think about is that if you saw that with your naked eye, like if you were in a ship and you were flying around like me here, you saw that with your naked eye, it wouldn't have all that color. That only is showing up because the picture was taken with infrared. The image was, you know, captured with an infrared telescope. That's a small example of us not being able to perceive things in our reality. So it makes a lot of sense to me that these things could be right next to us. We would never know. I have a colony of harvester ants in my backyard that I like to feed sometimes. Feed them seeds. They're awesome. But, you know, they don't know anything about me. They don't have any idea what I am. All they know is that this shadow shows up and birdseed comes and they have food. And they love it. We could be the ants, man. We could be the ants. Those ants don't know anything about the fucking Declaration of Independence. Right? They don't know anything about paying bills or fucking rent or what a car is or applesauce. They have no fucking idea about anything. It's a fucking weird thought. My whole life we've been told that we're at the top of the fucking food chain. And that was a quote from Elizondo himself. He's like, we may not be at the top of the food chain. What the fuck does that mean? Again, like if this was Billy Bob on a late night special on the Discovery Channel like I used to watch when I was a kid, or whatever channel that was, where they showed UFO kind of docs. I can't remember what channel that was. These are high-ranking military people. Military, ex-intel, blah, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm talking about. It's fucking crazy. And to go in front of Congress and say that? Like, what? I have friends in the military that have told me... They haven't told me the full extent of what they've seen, but they've hinted that there are things out there that are not known by the public. I myself had a weird incident a couple of years ago. I know you guys are rolling your eyes like, oh, what a big surprise. This was 100% some kind of military crap. This was a drone of some kind. I don't know. It looked, the way it behaved, it seemed like a hard-shell dirigible. Like it was filled with helium. I was driving home from work, driving past our airport here in this small town in New Mexico that I live near. I look up and I see what looks like a plane coming at me because, you know, again, I'm by the airport. It's not unusual. Planes land there all the time, yada, yada, yada. But I'm looking at it, and I notice, like, it's got these protrusions coming from the front. Which again is not too odd. I mean, I've seen those aircraft before. I can't remember the exact name of that type of wing that comes off the nose. This had two of them jutting out at like 45-degree angles from the cone, the nose cone of this craft. And it flew over me, and that's when I see it's a boomerang shaped. It looked like the letter X if you took the point of intersection and moved it up and gave it like a little pod shape in the middle. Little teardrop shape in the middle. It was fucking crazy, and it made no sound. But I think it was a drone because I saw the red and green lights on the tips. This thing was huge. It was the size of like a 747 is what it looked like. Maybe 1,000 feet in the air. It was very low to the ground. I pull over after it passed over me, and I see that it doesn't have a tail. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell was that? That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Let me get a picture of it. I get out of my car. I had to drive a little ways to make sure I was safe. But, I mean, where I live, it's fucking flat. New Mexico is flat as shit where I'm at. You can see 360 degrees around. I got out of my car. This thing was gone. It was gone. And I was like, you know what? Let me get even if it's an ass image, like an ass angle of this fucking craft or whatever. Let me get that. It was gone. And I work with the airport sometimes, and so I went and asked their admin. I'm like, hey, do you guys ever have drones fly out of here? She's like, no. I live next to Cannon Air Force in New Mexico. She's like, that might have been out of Cannon, though. It's probably one of their things. Because they do special operations out of there. It's like, holy shit. What the fuck was that, man? Very, very interesting. I came home that night. Whenever I got home, I was flipping through all kinds of Google images trying to find that specific craft, and there's nothing like that. I had ChatGPT generate an image, and see, this is where if I was a professional podcaster, I'd flash it on the screen. Is this the best representation that I've made thus far of it? One of these days, it's gonna come out. Maybe, I guess. I guess it couldn't. Might not. But I feel like maybe one of these days that craft is gonna be well known. It's gonna be a normal thing. Or they could just use it for surveillance. It makes me think that it was for surveillance because of again, those protrusions out of the front. It's not something you have for speed. So fucking wild. But yeah, at the time of this recording, it's Thursday. What is it today? Today is July 9th. Thursday, July 9th. It is 8:20 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I am hoping for a drop tomorrow. That's what we resorted to, is being fucking drip-fed this bullshit. I go back and forth. There's a lot of crazy schizophrenic shit in this topic, man. You guys that read this title and were like, oh boy, this will be interesting. Like, I get it. I really do. I really get it. But there's something there, man. There's something going on. I want to know what these tridactyls out of Peru. What is that about? You guys can Google those when you have a second. See, there's little white desiccated bodies with 3 fingers, as you'd expect. What is that? Are those real? They say everybody keeps fucking saying they are, but I've also heard that they won't release them for, like, peer review. Which is not promising. You have that guy, Jaime, what's his name? The guy that just showed those little bodies for Mexican Congress that looked ridiculous. Turned out to be a fraud that he's done before. Yeah. A lot of bullshit. Oh man, we're getting into some weird territory here. Oh, there's my beam. I found it! I hit that beam and then take some, take a spinach break here. There we go. How satisfying, so. You guys really should check this game out. It's a lot of fun. Again, it's not the most exciting, but if you want something to play, it's chill. Maybe we get to go to a new planet. New planet? Miss you too, baby. I miss you too. It. Nowie. Nowie. I can't tell you guys how long I've thought about doing this live stream. When the moon looks like that, it always reminds me of like a fingernail clipping. Every time I see it in the sky. Every time. Just kind of gross. Space for a cockpit. How do you fly? Oh yeah. What can it do? It does more than fly. What that mean? The desolate world. Got distracted. There we go. Give me lift! Fuck! Damn it. Never was very good at Flappy Bird. I missed that game. Oh man, Jelly Car? You guys ever play Jelly Car? Jelly Car was the shit. Oh, fuck. I got bees on me! Little fairy sprites. Orbs. That's another thing you hear a lot about these days. Orbs. Orbs and sentient plasmoids. What a crazy time to be alive. I've heard rumors that our wonderful president, our fearless leader, has planned a disclosure speech. That's a little bit more than just a rumor. I mean, that came from his own stepdaughter, I believe? You could look it up. She talks about it on her podcast. Because apparently she has one. Thought that was interesting. Like, yeah, he actually, he mentioned something about that. He's got something, up his sleeve. A bit of a shame. I would kind of like disclosure to come from literally anyone else. But, you know what? At least it's something. My whole entire life, up until the last few years, if you even talked about this subject, you were kind of laughed at. You know? It's so crazy to see the kind of this dynamic shifting. So, Cube. Cube! Got a little rigatoni pasta noodle over here. Is rigatoni the spiral one? I can't remember. I'm wondering what's going to happen when we get to this canyon here. I think that's a... If I remember right, that's those little... light over there is like a booster, I think. Oh no. Let's see, we'll fly into it and see what happens. Got my beam on the right. Maybe I have to go over here to go over there. Right? I'm just gonna try it. She's first detected. Where is it, mother? Is it a little... Yeah, oh shit. Baby. Fuck. Ah! Nice. Energy stored. Full containment reach. Flow stable. Go into the crevice. It's the second time I've said that today. Make it lift. Damn. No option. There we go. There we go. Come on, baby. Damn it. Ha! Where are we going? bought this game again. Like I said, I played this probably like 2013 maybe. It's been a long time, and then I bought it again. I was thinking about it. I was like, what is that game that I was playing where you're like a saucer and you're flying around? I fucking love that game. Gotta buy that again. I bought this, and then it's been sitting on my games for months. Because I thought, you know what? Whenever I play that again, I want to open it up, and I want to do a podcast. Hey, there was Jupiter. Been wanting to do podcasts for a long time. And again, I seem to think about things when I'm not actually on mic. Which doesn't work for a podcast, does it? I think I just get too in my head about things. Gotta chill. Need some spinach. I wonder what those little orbs do, if they do anything eventually. It said it can do more than fly. I wonder what that means. Foreshadowing. What's in the mist? The ground. It's less climactic than I thought. That was a good one. I think when I do this again, I'm gonna have notes. Bullet points. I feel so scatterbrained. It's a cool flight, if anything. What are those orange things? Maybe it's power. Oh, damn it! I'm so close. Son of a bitch. There we go. That's what it is, right there. Remember this for the first time. Damn. queer. I don't want to say that. Queerness? Queerness. This one is bumpy. Is that my object over there? What is that? A janky boy. Damn. Careful when I catch you. Doesn't help that I'm losing lift. It's just a little bit faster. I need to use these buttons. That's people watching this that are probably screaming. You're supposed to use the health, man. God. The problem with that is that I just suck at it. I missed it. There we go. Come back. Oh, damn. Damn. Thought you could go in. Now it's really ahead of me. So close. Having to focus a lot more than I thought I would have to. Doesn't help that I'm fucking stoned. Holy shit, what happened? Object departed. Damn. I'm turn around, but I can't. Being pushed. Damn it. I think I got. see, we've got... Oh yeah, I forgot about the missing scientists. Got all these people that are researching like anti-gravity. Amy Eskridge is talking. Maybe she was one of those scientists that I think allegedly committed suicide. I believe her father backed that up. He thinks that that's what's happened, but she made a video right before that happened. It was very interesting. She's talking about how they made a breakthrough in anti-gravity technology. Getting the feedback there, sorry. There was another guy that specialized in, I think, if I remember, something to do with water on other planets. I can't remember if it was microbial life that he was studying, looking for, or something. He got shot on his porch. McCaslin, General McCaslin, was head of the Air Force Research Lab. Just walks out of his house one day. I think I remember hearing that he took his gun, but he left his wallet, like his smartwatch and stuff. So he knew what he was doing, maybe. Unless that was staged. Very, very weird. Especially for that to happen at a time like now. We have all these revelations coming to light. Or trying to, rather. It's just a very interesting time to be alive. Is this all a big distraction? I don't know. From what? Iran? The fact that there's a elite group of people well, I say people loosely. I don't know if they're people or not. Some of the things that they've been accused of are inhuman. Sacrificing and eating babies and shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, don't think about it. Go to work. Huh? What? Don't think about, I gotta link that fucking DOJ doc, because that was crazy. It literally says in there, entities operating beyond human sight. I don't want to repeat the rest because it's fucked, but very, very interesting. But I'll have to do this again. Maybe next time I'll be a little more prepared to talk. Like I said, I wasn't expecting to focus so much. I was trying to catch that little ball. And I feel completely scatterbrained now that I've sat down to actually do this. Thought about it. I guess some action is better than no action. A single step is better than none, right? Oh shit. I guess it's a good thing this little craft doesn't mind lava. I feel like if I could get to that, I would be happy. That'll do it though. Plan to do this again, like I said. I don't know when. Soon. Maybe this weekend. See what awaits this little craft. Maybe then I'll be able to fucking fly better. But I make no promises.